I like how it encourages you here to put away your technology, grab a cup of tea, and find a quiet and cozy spot to write. Happy planning. Love that. Today I'm going to review for you the Hemlock and Oak Horizontal Planner. But first, if you're new here, hey, my name is Lauren, and on my channel I share tools and tips to help you on your self-care journey. I'm filming this in June, and it might seem weird that I am talking about a 2025 planner this far into 2025, but I picked this up on discount. It's like way into the year, so that's when it goes on sale. I initially started out the year using a daily duo from Hemlock and Oak as a journal. And that book was broken up into two: January to the end of June, and then July through December. And after using that for journaling for a little while, I decided that I prefer not to use that type of a planner for daily journaling. And I thought this planner probably would work maybe better for that because I do miss the aspect of doing the daily journaling and doing like weekly reflecting. So I want to show you what this planner looks like. It's actually new. It's one of their newer layouts. There are other reviews about it, so it's not like I'm the first one reviewing it, but it is one of their newer products. So in case you haven't seen it, here you go. So this actually is my first time having a Hemlock and Oak that is in their normal Hemlock and Oak size, which is a little bit bigger than an A5. The first time I had a weekly planner from them was their minimalist version, which is an A5 size. So this is a little bit bigger. And this cover is sort of like a linen cover. It actually might be linen. They are a company out of Canada and they prioritize being sustainable and using sustainable products and materials, including like their packaging. Like it came in a box that had tissue paper in it and it was in a bag that is recyclable and it's not plastic. So if you're looking for a brand that checks those boxes, this is a really good brand for you. So let's check out the inside. So at first you have a nameplate page. If found, please contact. You can put your name there and your contact information if you want to. And if you hear rumbling outside, it is storming or there are storms in the distance. Hopefully my power doesn't go back out because it went back out or it went out earlier. This has a table of contents for you, breaks down all the different parts of this planner. One of the things that is unique for Hemlock and Oak is the fact that it incorporates like goal setting and reflections in the planner. So I'm looking forward to doing that too because I'm sort of doing goal setting. And one of the things that I would do in my other goal setting planner, like the Moxie Life, was the monthly reflections. And right now, I don't really have a space for that. And I like that this has like prompts, not necessarily the same prompts as the Moxie Life system, but it does have goal setting prompts that are similar. So this page, it gives some notes about how to use the planner and basically some of the basics about the planner. It talks about how when we live our lives by our values, our decision making becomes easier. Our mental load decreases because we can prioritize better, and goals become a journey rather than a strict result. So essentially, the way that they've designed this planner is to help you reduce stress and focus on your values. And in doing so and naming them, it helps you to pay attention to the things that are most important. I like how it encourages you here to put away your technology, grab a cup of tea, and find a quiet and cozy spot to write. Happy planning. Love that. This is my first time actually looking at these pages. So excuse me if I'm kind of delayed or all over the place. I've never had their like full planners before. In the minimal version, it doesn't have all the goal setting pages in it. So these are These are new to me. So this section is supposed to be for personal values. Here's a spot for you to reflect. I'm not going to read all the prompts. I wonder if these prompts have changed over the years. If you've used Hemlock and Oak and you're familiar with these reflection pages in the front, I would love to know if they've changed and how they've changed, and if you've liked the changes, if you like the prompts in them. I don't know. I feel like that would be interesting to know if they tweak these every year. I'm sure they don't necessarily tweak them every year, but this is a cool page to identify your values. It says use your favorite highlighters, markers, or pens and select words that stand out to you. So basically, those are some goal prep pages, I guess is what you can call them. And then here's some more that help you with setting your goals. And you have it for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different goals. And then they have sections for habit cultivation. So you have 1, 2, 3, just 3 different habits, it seems like. I'm interested in this. Let's see what it says about habits. It says that establishing habits helps us conserve mental energy and reduce decision fatigue. When we begin to routinely incorporate them into our lives, we free up our mental space for more creative or complex endeavors. Habits are like a garden. The more you water and tend to them, the more you grow and the more fulfilling life becomes. I think I would agree that if you establish a habit, it does reduce decision fatigue because you're pretty much deciding one time. I don't know if you've ever read the book The Lazy Genius. There's like a principle in there about deciding once. And it's sort of like, okay, you decide that every single day. Like for me, at one point in my life, I decided every day I'm going to do yoga. And I've just done it every single day. And there's no question, there's no, am I going to do yoga today? Do I want to do yoga today? That's what it means by like decision fatigue getting taken away. You've decided already, this is the habit I want, and this is what I'm going to do. Of course, you should routinely evaluate your habits and make sure that they are still serving you in the way that you intend them to. You don't want to be forcing yourself to complete habits that are not serving you. Actually, I'm incorrect. Each of these pages has a breakdown for 2 different habits here. So if I look very carefully, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 habits. Okay, that's better than 3. Okay, here's a page called Daily Framework. I'm guessing this has something to do, yeah, like creating a schedule. What hours do you have the most energy? It has a timeline, AM, PM. And then it shows you like the late hours. Oh, look, a little spot for self-care activities. I like it whenever self-care is included in planners. Write down anything important you want to reference. And here we go to some actual calendar pages. So this side is the 2025. This is 2026. One thing to note about this planner brand is that their calendars are Monday starts. So you have to be okay with your calendar being a Monday start. I typically do not like Monday start calendars, and that's when it comes to my day-to-day calendaring. If I'm opening up a calendar and making appointments, I need it to be a Sunday start because that's just how my brain works because I'm in the United States and that's just what I grew up with. Monday start calendar is a little bit tricky for me. I, however, don't mind it in a journal because I'm usually not referencing that often, except to maybe jot down a note about maybe something significant that I want to remember. Because for me, my journals I keep, my planner is not so much. So Monday start in that aspect doesn't bother me. I probably honestly might not reference this, although in the past I have found calendar pages like this in a journal to be helpful with doing something like keeping track of my husband's days at home. Every so often, his job ends up taking him away from home, and he has to basically live in a different town. And some nights he's there and some nights he's here. So, in a page like this, I found it interesting last year is when I did this. I did that for the entire year in 2024. In my Moxie life, I kept track of the dates. Like I did it based on nights. So I was like, if he was home that night, I counted it as like he was here. And it was interesting at the end of the year to see like how many nights he was home for the whole year and how many nights he wasn't. And it sort of actually helped me feel like, okay, he was actually home a lot more often than I thought he was. So I thought that was interesting. Here is another page with calendars. This one is just 2025 though, and I think this is more designed for you to maybe map out your, I don't know, you can do probably a lot of different things. I'm curious to know if you've been using Hemlock and Oak for a while, what you use this page for. Because I don't think I've ever used a page like this to do anything, whether it be tracking or like listing out goals or something. I feel like this probably could do well for tracking purposes. I'm just not sure exactly what. I mean, I guess I could see myself using it for like the cardio days, not daily yoga because that's every day, that's a given, but to track the days that I'm doing cardio and then maybe make some notes in this space for that, like have this be a little bit of notes space. That could be a purpose for it. This actually also could be a really good spot for tracking my yoga every day. So it's got January, February, March. So every quarter it's one page. And I like how the weekend, I think that's Saturdays or Sunday maybe. Let's look at the date. Oh, wait. So the brown dates are Mondays. So that helps you know when like the next week starts. And I would list out the way I track my yoga every day is I write down the minutes. So I would write, let's say 12 MIN, and then I will write an abbreviation for the name of the person I followed the practice. So my two go-tos are usually Yoga with Adrienne or Sarah Beth Yoga. So I would write YWA for Yoga with Adrienne or SBY for Sarah Beth Yoga. And that'll help me kind of know. And if I do my own, I write me. And this helps me at a glance, like know how often am I doing it for me and how often am I practicing long? Am I practicing short? That sort of thing. I like doing that. I used to once upon a time like total the numbers every month and see how many minutes I was doing, but at some point I stopped doing that. The holidays are listed here for both Canada and the United States. I'm pretty sure this is not all the holidays that I would need because I am in Louisiana and here we celebrate Mardi Gras and that's not listed, but that's okay. It's always easy to figure out. And then this page is just a graph page. And here is the January overview. Interesting because it's got just a little bit of reflection prompts here, and this one's totally open-ended. I like this quote. It says, "Self-care is how you take your power back." I actually think I might have used this quote and posted it on Instagram before. So there's like a monthly habit tracker here. You can list out the different habits you want to cultivate this month. How often do you want to do them? Interesting. So I wonder if there's also a reflection after. So here's the calendar page, Mondays through Sunday. And then here is the horizontal view for the week. Now, this layout is something that I have used for actual planning purposes. And I actually did consider getting this as my weekly planner, but I ended up using a Sprouted in the beginning of this year. And I am actually no longer using a Sprouted. You can check my stack videos for what I'm doing now. So it's just literally across. It has hardly any color. It's just grayed out. Right here on the side, it says there's a new moon. So it has the phase. And then right here, it says New Year's Day. So this is where the holidays are going to be like way in the margins. I'm not so sure how I feel about that as far as like for a planner, but this is not what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to be using it for journaling. So that's fine. That doesn't bother me. And this has little check boxes over here. At the very bottom, it has let's bring you closer. At the very bottom, it has like a self-care symbol. So what I plan to do is use this space to do some brief journaling about the day. And when I say brief, I mean not necessarily talk about what happened that day. Actually, yes and no. It's more to like things that I want to remember about that day that are going to help me when the week ends and it's time for me to do a weekly reflection. This way I can like glance through this and kind of, it's almost like serves as memory joggers to remind me what happened during the week that can help me with reflecting for the week. Because I don't know about you, but I have 4 children, and every time I had a child, I feel like I lost a little bit of my ability to remember things. So, brain doesn't work like it used to when I was in my 20s and my teens, and that's okay. That's why we got pen and paper. And actually, honestly, our brains are not meant to, and I'm being serious, our brains are literally not meant to hold all the things. That's why it's important to write down to-do lists or to write down things that are important that we want to remember, and don't rely on our memory, because our minds are not designed to work that way. They're not. So, jotting things down. I really like reflecting. It's something that I got used to using the Moxie Life system. If you're not familiar with that, you'll have to watch another one of my videos. I don't want to dive into it right now because this is going to be too long. So it looks like, okay, there is review pages at the end of the month. So this is for the end of the month. I'll have a spot right here to jot down a monthly reflection, and I can use the reflection prompts that are in the Moxie Life system to help me with this part here. And in addition to that, I can actually use these prompts because I know these are different than those ones if I want to. So yeah, it basically has everything. It has all the spots that I need, with having like monthly reflections in the beginning of the year or beginning of the month. And then I'm not sure what I'll use the calendar page for. Probably the same that I do now, just to kind of jot maybe a little highlight or low light. It doesn't necessarily need to be something good, but jot down things so that when if I do flip back into the journal in the future, if like future Lauren was looking at this, which in all likelihood it will happen probably in a few years, not necessarily like right away, but look back and see on this page, like, when did that happen? If it was a big enough event, and then I could potentially reference the actual date itself to see what I might have said about it, and maybe see if I reflected about it more here, or if I also want to use this to jot down when I do long form journaling, because I have a notebook that I use, that I've been using, a notebook style journaling where it's just a notebook and just me writing all my thoughts since I was a teenager. And when I started doing like this type of journaling too, where I'm like also doing a little bit of journaling every day, I've been notating in there. Like if I journaled this day, I'll write long form journal to make a note to myself. That way, when I'm referencing this, there's also like a note that, hey, by the way, you also did a little bit more journaling in that other book over there, to help me kind of get the full picture, if I ever need to. So that's just been my process. So that's really what this is. Let me flip. I think there might be a mid-year. There is not. Okay, so the middle of the year, it's just June ends and it just goes right into July. This also comes with some um, ribbon bookmarks, which are plenty long, and they're 2 different shades of blue in this color of the planner. They come in different colors. Not all the color options are going to be available at this point in the year, because once they sell out, they sell out. So the ribbons will match whatever color. And you can purchase charms. They will attach them to the bookmarks if that's something you're interested in. You can also purchase like what are they called? A pocket, and they will put it on there for you too. I just didn't do that on this. I just went ahead and just got a basic planner as is. So let me go to the back, because I know there's some end of the year. There should be end of the year things. So here it says end of year review. And you've got a little bit of reflections. I think there might also be some note pages in the back, just some grid pages, a spot for you to look ahead, and yeah, some grid pages. So this might be something where I would potentially list out some maybe ideas for goals I want to have for next year, or just any other kind of notes that I think I want to take. Just like a ink blot on the paper. That's fine. So this says last page is marked 223. Let me see. One of the things that I like about the Hemlock and Oak planners are this feature here that, let's see if I can do this gracefully. This flips and you can see the week that you're at. So that makes it really easy for finding what you need, because this doesn't have tabs. They do sell tabs that you can stick on, and it comes with a guide that helps you place them in the right spot. I've never gotten those, but it's just an option if that's something you're interested in getting. I think the bookmarks are plenty enough to just keep my spot in the current week and maybe a different page that I might want to reference frequently. But otherwise, that is the Hemlock and Oak. I am an affiliate, by the way. So if this is something that you are interested in and my review was helpful to you and you want to support someone you don't already have another Hemlock and Oak affiliate to support, I'd appreciate it if you supported me in that way. I do have a code, and I will leave my affiliate link in the description too. I'll pop the code up here for you to shop and get a discount. The code won't work if there is already some sort of a discount happening on the site. Unfortunately, like, you also can't combine it with sales. So here's an example. This was on discount, and if I tried to add other things to my cart that were full price and try and use a code, it wouldn't allow me to use my code to get like a discount off of the normal full price things, because there was already a discount being provided to me automatically for this 2025 planner. So just note that that might be an issue. However, as long as you use my affiliate link, like clicking my link, that'll give me credit for the sale. Unfortunately, like I said, it won't give you a discount, but if you do want to make sure you help support me, I do get a small commission off of the sale, whether you use my code, you use my link, or you do both. So wanted to make sure. And if you're following me on Instagram, you can always find my Hemlock and Oak affiliate link there. If you click on my link in bio, I'll have like a breakdown of all the different companies that I'm affiliated with. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to see more videos like this and you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? I will definitely talk about this again as I use it in future stack videos. So look out for that. Like the video if you found it helpful. I feel like I haven't done a video in a while, and I'm like trying to remember what the heck am I supposed to say at the end of the video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.